Hey there, welcome back to my garden. It is July 17th and things are definitely growing. Things have boomed in the last month and I've got a few things here that I want to harvest, so I figured I'd bring you along and give you a little tour. So let's do it. The potato bed is definitely starting to die back. I don't think it's quite there yet where it's harvestable, but maybe in the next week or so. What's really funny is that you can really tell the difference between the two varieties that I have when they're dying back. This first third is my red Pontiac, and you can tell those leaves have lost a lot of their green. They're kind of yellowing and they're falling over a lot more quickly than these ones over here are the russet potatoes. So those ones are hanging in a little bit longer than the red, but I just thought that was kind of cool because they did not look, they looked completely identical up until this point. So seeing that change now has been kind of cool. But yeah, hopefully we'll have some potatoes in the next few weeks. The chamomile has been flowering a lot, and the sweet potatoes, they're starting to vine. Same one here, this sweet potato seems to be doing a lot better than the other one. Here's a quick overview of this bed. So we have some carrots, Brussels sprouts, all the lettuce that was in between is now gone because I harvested all of that. Then zucchini and spaghetti squash. There was radishes here, but those are all gone and they have all been harvested. So there's a row of spinach, a row of golden beets. The red beets are all gone. They've all been harvested already. I've got some being pickled, and then we had some roasted that were delicious, but I want to pick some golden beets today. The Swiss chard, some I've already taken, but a lot is still left. The dill, which I've been harvesting from a lot here and there. And then the pumpkins are really taking over the whole area over here. Let me back out and show you. So over here we have the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, which is coming out that way. And then this is the sugar pie pumpkin, which is starting to come out this way. I do have the beginnings of a pumpkin right here. So, and the spaghetti squash. We've got this big guy on there. A few other female flowers have kind of come and gone. They either haven't been pollinated or this one's kind of sucking all the energy for now. But either way, I have that one that I'm super excited about. Sorry, don't mind that. That's my gross bug trap. And that's how I've been killing a lot of Japanese beetles and squash bugs. So it's working, but I know it doesn't look pretty. All right, well, I've got my harvesting basket, and like I mentioned, I wanted to pull out some of these beets, so I'm gonna do that. While I'm here in this bed, there's also a zucchini that I'd like to pick, so I'll grab that one too. Before we move on from this bed, I thought it would be fun to pull a carrot and see what they're looking like under there. I'm not sure how long these have been in. I know I could look back on pictures and find the date. So, you know, I think they still have some time to fully mature, but it's getting close, I believe. So I've been kind of looking at these and seeing what the stems are looking like, and I think I found a couple that are pretty pretty developed, so I'm gonna pull this one and see what we've got under there. Okay, so like I said, maybe not totally ready, but it's pretty cute. I'm glad to see that they're actually growing and looking good, so that's encouraging. I'll keep it. All right, so moving over to the onion and tomato bed, things are looking pretty good. The onions I've been a little bit concerned with because they don't look like they're starting to bulb up at all, and I've been looking it up to see when that should happen, and it seems like it takes like 3 to 4 months before they actually even start to form a bulb. So hopefully I'm on track. These are just some flowers here, but hopefully I'm on track. You know, it's just a concern, but I'm just gonna let them keep doing their thing, and hopefully we see some onion bulbs soon. Got an extra pumpkin here that is really growing over the last few days. It's really gotten a lot bigger. So extra pumpkins, all of the green beans, which I will be harvesting some today because I know there's quite a few in there. One of those loofah plants, these are the ones that have been transplanted, so they're, you know, slower growing than my other ones, which you'll see later, but they're still looking really good. My grape tomato plant, I've had a few off of here already from this guy, and they are tasting amazing. So this one could probably come soon, but we'll leave it a day or two. But yeah, tons that are ready to ripen. And then the big tomato plants. So that one's looking really great. That's the Better Boy. Got a few tomatoes on there. All of the ones that I started from seed, these are all San Marzano or Arkansas Travelers, and those are all looking really good. This one, I believe that's a San Marzano. I actually haven't seen the tomatoes on here yet, so this must be new today. Oh, look, there's more here too. Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, I think that's a San Marzano. Here is pineapple tomato. Oh look, there's a ton of San Marzanos hidden in there. Wow, that's awesome. Of course, the basil, which is finally starting to see some air and light because I've been able to trim up the tomato leaves. And then this one is getting picked today. This is a Bonnie Best. It's loaded with tomatoes. Some more here. This is a beefsteak, which this was one of the ones that, so they're all going up one single stem, except for this one. It broke off into two and it got a little bit too big to the point where I left it. So some big boys on there. And then this is the large cherry tomatoes. This plant is absolutely loaded. And it just keeps growing and growing. I don't know what it's gonna do because it's at the top of the pole. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, ready for those to ripen because I am dying to know what they taste like. Over here in my little trellis area, this was some freed up space because as you can see, I've got a pea right there and a bean right there, but nothing else came up, and if it did, it got eaten by rabbits. So this was all open. And I mentioned I'm trying to keep all of my tomatoes going up a single stem, and these are some of the suckers that got big enough to kind of threaten that plan a little bit, like have two stems going up. So I took those off and put them here. So we've got an Arkansas Traveler. I believe that one's a pineapple tomato. This one's the large cherry tomato. And then the two down there, I think are the Bonnie's Best or beefsteak. I'm just, you know, this is kind of like my tomato graveyard. They're going here whether they make it or not. I'm at least giving them a second shot at life. So I tried keeping track of what they are, but we'll just see what happens when they come out. This is one of the first tomatoes off of here that didn't have blossom end rot. So happy about that. You know, I've looked into it a little bit. I think it might have just been because of the rain. We were getting a lot of rain and then nothing, and then a lot of rain and then nothing. So I think that was kind of the issue, because none of these other ones have blossom end rot right now. So I'm not gonna worry about it unless it shows up again. But yeah, let's pick this one. So I know I've got some green beans in here. I did go through once already and take some, just a small handful. I left some behind that were pretty small, and I think I'm definitely seeing some that are big enough. I think I left enough that we'll have a good little harvest here. So I'm just gonna dive in and do that. So when I've talked about these before, I mentioned how I wasn't sure if these were too close together. You know, they seem to be producing pretty well. I'm leaving a lot on here still because they're just so small, and I think they're gonna be like too young and tender. Maybe I wanna see if they get a little bit bigger, but I think it's working out. They're definitely still growing. It's just kind of hard to get in there and find everything and make sure that I'm not leaving, you know, any really big ones behind that's going to signal to the plant that it's done or anything. So, but yeah, I think, you know, the spacing's manageable. Not bad, just another handful, but enough for dinner. While I'm here, I figured I'd show you what my bunching onions are looking like. So I'll pull one of those. They have a pretty big bulb at the end, which I haven't seen in, you know, regular green onions from the store. So I'm not sure if that's like I left them too long and so they're starting to bulb and they're not really supposed to. I mean, they are tall. So maybe I let them go too long, but I've just been pulling them when I can actually use them because I don't want to pull them all and then just have them go bad in the fridge. So that's what's going on here. On my trellis, I have my cucumbers looking great. I have some growing, and there's the big one. That's the biggest one I have so far. So, ready later. Have even more cucumbers filling in all the empty space here. This is a couple of cantaloupes. Haven't really grown too much recently, so keeping an eye on that. If I have to get rid of one of them, I don't know, we'll see. Some mint popped up here and I'm letting that go because I wouldn't hate having mint. And then here we have the watermelon. Same thing as the cantaloupe. It's kind of it got to this point and stopped a little bit, so I'm not sure if they're just too close, if I need to pull one of them, but I'm hoping that those come up soon. Then to finish up the trellis, we've got the loofah.
I'm gonna go outside.
All right.
I'm hot.
All right, the final bed is beans, radishes, zucchini, spaghetti squash, peppers, and corn. So I'll show you a little bit closer. These are some extra beans. I wanted to plant some more, just, you know, about the spacing. I wanted to have them in just one single row to see if that was gonna be better for me to, I don't know, grow them, but also just pick them and things like that. So put them there. I started a second round of radishes, but a lot of bugs are getting them. I mean, like this one is just gone. So I don't know if they're gonna grow in time or if the bugs are just gonna get them. Kind of a bummer, but I wanted to at least try to get another round of radishes in since all of ours are gone. This bed seems to be doing the worst bug-wise. Like these leaves are just getting eaten alive. Way worse than the other ones. So I am gonna come through and spray with neem oil tonight. But until then, I've got another, oh see, squash bugs and cucumber beetle. So yeah, those pesky, ugh, I hate doing that. Okay, and they stink, but that one's gone. Oh yeah, it smells so bad. I think I might leave this one for tomorrow. I've got a few now that I'm gonna try to cook up for dinner, so I don't think I need this one just yet. So I'll let that one go another day. Don't have any fruit on the spaghetti squash just yet, but it took a little bit longer on that other plant too, so it doesn't really blow my mind. Hopefully soon. This pepper area is my favorite place to come look. I like looking really low and just seeing all of the peppers kind of flowing down. I was joking with my sister today. I just like want to be an ant and go in the little pepper forest and look at all the big peppers all around me. Cause like it just looks so cool down there. But I'm just weird. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Anyway, these jalapenos, they haven't really grown too much more recently. They probably look the same as they did in my last video, but I'm hoping that they've just been kind of putting energy, because the plants have definitely gotten bigger. So I'm wondering if like all the energy is going into the plants right now and then it'll get redirected back into the fruit, because even the tag said they'll be about 3 inches long. So I think they've still got some length to grow, but yeah. And then here, lots of chili peppers, Hungarian hot wax, and then some bell peppers over here. All right, so my corn went through a storm. I mean, the whole garden went through the storm, but it really got knocked over. It was all laying down when I came out. So, I mean, as you can see, these two right here, like the stems are straightened, but they started to try to re-straighten themselves towards the sun, and it was a whole thing. So those two are still a little bit wonky, but I was able to go through and add more dirt at the bottom and try to like press it down and straighten them out a little bit after a few days after the storm. I mean, I tried to let them do their thing for a minute, but it didn't really work. So they're up right now. We'll see how long that lasts. I hope they continue to just grow straight, but man, they really got a beating from that storm that we had. I think it was just too windy. But anyway, it's looking really good. Some of them are even starting to get the little tassels. So yeah, we might just get some corn this season. I'm gonna have Brad pull the Hungarian hot wax because the peppers are his. He likes the hot peppers, and you actually knew what plant was Hungarian hot wax, so that's a good thing.
Do I just pull it like as far down as I can?
Yeah, or cut it if you feel like you need to. Oh, nice. Hey.
Ta-da.
Not a bad harvest for a garden tour. So yeah, as you can see, I've got like things coming in here and there just one at a time, but I'm so happy to see that. You know, a few weeks ago I was feeling really unsure if I was going to even get a basket like that from it. So to see that things are going and really starting to boom is making me really happy. I mean, I just stand here sometimes and look at this and like cannot believe that this is my backyard and that we're doing this. If you just found me and you haven't been following from the beginning, this is my first year gardening. My husband and I built all these beds and really have been putting a lot of work and time and money into this garden, and to see it finally kind of coming full circle and providing for us has been really cool. So thanks for following me along with this garden video, with this garden tour. I hope you subscribe and stick around if you'd like to see what I continue to harvest and how these things continue to grow. But until then, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.